Payback is sweet as the Gators chomp the Bulldogs and are back in the national championship hunt. FSU loses a heartbreaker. The Canes vying for the ACC, and NFL news. It's all about football this week on Game Face with our good friend, the sports addict, Gary Fineout. Gary, let's start at the world's largest cocktail party where UF finally gets retribution over the hated Bulldogs.
Retribution? I call it a rout. I mean, what more could you love about that game if you were a Gators fan? I mean, they just dominated them all up and down the field, and Mark Richt, some serious crow eating.
49-10, the worst loss in Mark Richt's head coaching history at the hands of the Gators, who have now won, what, 16 of 19 against UGA?
Absolutely. And what's even better about this, of course, is now the Gators, they're on a path to Atlanta for the SEC championship, and I'm going to say it right now, they are probably going to go the rest of the season undefeated. They're going to beat Alabama, and I think they'll be in the BCS championship game.
And rated number 5 in the BCS poll this week, behind Texas Tech, Alabama, Texas, all of them are going to fall by the wayside. And experts say Florida, Penn State will be playing in Miami for the BCS championship game.
And they'll beat Penn State too, because basically Florida is playing right now the best football in America, bar none.
And how about the class of the Gators? There are no Georgia fans left in the stands when the Bulldogs finally scored their only touchdown when it didn't matter, and you saw a Gator player clapping for that 7.
Well, yeah, I mean, better to, I guess, get a little something without than nothing. I mean, but the defense was just amazing. They hounded Matthew Stafford. It was a great display, and I'm just telling you, I just don't know who's going to beat this team. I don't.
Well, there's still a couple spoiler possibilities, and one is Florida State University. That game is in Tallahassee this year. FSU loses a heartbreaker at the very end of the game, though, to Georgia Tech.
Yeah, FSU, they got behind early on Georgia Tech, and then they had to really fight and claw to even get back in that game. A tough way to lose. I will say this. I think Florida State has begun slowly, bit by bit. They're beginning to resemble the Florida State of old.
Scrappy team.
Scrappy team. I just don't think they have enough. Their defense won't be able to stop Florida.
And how about the Canes pulling one out against Georgia Tech, puts them back in the ACC hunt?
Wild. I mean, it is really wild in the ACC. One team's up, one team's down. Miami has looked really good ever since, interestingly enough, they have been playing like a different team ever since that second half against FSU. Since then, it's sort of like they've gained a lot of momentum. And I think right now they have a chance to get in the ACC championship game. And maybe, just maybe, if FSU breaks their way, it'll be FSU Miami again.
Let's go pro now. How about the Dolphins? 2 wins in a row. They've now got 4-4 at 500, surprising everybody.
Well, and part of the answer, Chad Pennington. A great offseason acquisition, continues to come in. Didn't have a spectacular game yesterday, but still efficient, gets the job done. And then the defense. The defense was magnificent yesterday and basically all but shut the Broncos down.
I think my favorite player of the year for the NFL is Bill Parcells. He's not even on the field. What an impact he's had. Tampa Bay wins an exciting one, and Jacksonville goes down. They're off to a really disappointing start.
The problems with the Jaguars are distressing. I mean, they've had a lot of things wrong with the offensive line. I just wonder at this point in time, I don't know if anything can turn the season around, and I wonder whether or not this means Jack Del Rio's on the hot seat.
Well, Dolphins only 1 game out of first place. Of course, all the other teams are tied for it in the AFC East. Amazing.
Yeah, well, they're 4-4. The rest of them are 5-3. But what I like the way things are going with Miami, and I think, like we said a few weeks ago, as we said, people were kind of laughing. We said it's an open race in the AFC East, and anyone can take it, including the Dolphins. I think that's still the case today.
Anybody watching Game Face has a chance to win 2 tickets to college football's championship game, the BCS game, early next year in Miami. What do they got to do, Gary?
All they got to do is go to www.flsportsfan.com and enter the contest. It's really simple. And Gator fans, come on. 2 tickets on the 50-yard line? What more are you waiting for?
Right, you're probably going to be the home team. Okay, thank you to the sports addict, our good friend Gary Fineout. Hope all your teams win, and we'll see you next time on Game Face.